Hey, so Sneako, nice to get on a collaboration here with you, and you got a lot more experience doing this stuff than me, man. So thanks for hopping on. I know you just got back from Europe.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I mean, you have some experience. I heard you on Fresh and Fit, so you must know something about podcasting and the message that we're trying to spread.
Yeah, absolutely, a little bit. Now I know a rookie compared to you, but it's just great to
Well, I
get
have an
on here.
advantage. I started when I was very young. You said that beforehand. I started when I was 13, and I've been doing it my whole life. I've dedicated my life to YouTube. I would say that was my life's work, and they deleted it all in a second. My main channel, Sneako, I can understand. Maybe I saw it coming from my second channel, but to then delete my main channel, which I started when I was 13, is, and you don't want to say this because you have to be strong. You need to show a good message, but it's a little bit heartbreaking to see. I dedicated my life. I was reflecting when they terminated. I was sitting at eating dinner, and I started thinking about like the days where I went home early from school to go edit up a video, and the times that I would pretend to go to the bathroom so that I can record. In boarding school and high school, I remember telling my roommate to leave the room so I could record. I really dedicated. I dropped out of college to do YouTube. It was my dream when I was a kid. I dedicated my life. It was my life's work, was my main channel, and it's gone. But then I started reflecting and thinking about how YouTube doesn't matter. Fuck YouTube. Fuck them. Some people would tell me not to say that because maybe there's a chance I'm going to get back on the platform. The fact that they deleted all the fan channels as well proves to me that they just want me gone. They deleted every single channel with my name in it, even if I didn't make it. Everybody's channel with hundreds of thousands of subscribers, just posting my clips got deleted. So there's no chance I'm going to get back. Fuck YouTube. The point is, why I wanted to do YouTube was it was just the biggest platform to connect with people. That's why I wanted to do it, to make videos, to show off my life, to flex my creative muscles, to be different. That's it. And what they can erase is the connections and the impact that I've had, because I have poured my heart and soul into YouTube, into these videos, and you can't take that away. I've met some of the greatest people. Islam beforehand, just who set up this call. Shout out to him, to Islam98. Yeah. He watched my main channel content for years. He said he's been watching for like 6 years. I don't know how long, but people have grown up watching me. So fuck YouTube. I don't need them. They can't take away the connections that I've made.
Yeah, I remember I saw like about a week ago, I made a video. It got suppressed, but it was essentially when I saw two cowards, I would assume far leftists, and they were talking about banning you. And I thought it was just absolutely outrageous that we had two male creators literally going to the public to ask for you being mass reported. It wasn't even like, yo, let's hide this. Let's hide this. Let's hide the fact that we're going to be snakes and censor you, right? We're going to hide it. No, it's straight tyranny, like in your face. If you speak this way, we will organize, go viral, and get you mass reported, and we're openly going to talk about censoring you. I think that was the height for me of, wow, they have only gotten stronger and stronger, more and more fearless. This is really the tip of the iceberg. Last year, I was on TikTok calling this out because I just kept seeing this filth communist garbage come out over and over. And in July, I got banned. Made 6 videos about Drew Follow and the toxic feminist filth she pushes. She has Kaduzi, a manager at TikTok, that invited her to speak on culture at TikTok, on culture, on the app. Try to warn people. No one gave a fuck when I got banned. 780,000. I didn't have enough power there to influence there for anyone to care. But then when Take got banned, you got banned. It was like, wow, it was validation that because you guys had enough strength, you had enough popularity that it was able to go into the mainstream. And now I think more and more people are starting to be aware of what's going on. For example, on TikTok, which I think by far is the most extreme level of Chinese Communist Party indoctrination that we have ever seen in America. We have never had a media platform controlled by a flat out open Marxist organization and party out of Beijing that hires far leftists who put an American face on how much they hate our country. They hate our country. They picked Americans that are far leftists that hate our country to do what they're doing. But in reality, it's Beijing back there also pushing it. They're natural allies. They both hate America.
People know this too, and people just don't care anymore. In New York too, that's why I recently left. I went to the George Floyd protest out of boredom. I wanted to go outside. It was peak quarantine. And there were people waving the communist flag, the hammer and sickle, like in the middle of Washington Square Park. And this used to get you murdered back in the 50s. This was illegal. They would silence you. Communist used to be a bad word, and now it's trendy. It's cool. They've been brainwashed so much by the CCP that people don't even care. They blindly follow it. They've completely manipulated so many people to think that people like us are bad people. And I genuinely think that if we elect one more Democrat, America's over.
Yeah,
it's done. I
think
a
lot of things were going smooth before when Trump was there, and I feel like Kanye, for example, when he wore that shirt, it was just so strong. It was so like, I'm against the indoctrination, and especially as a minority, you know, like for him to say it, it was so strong. And he got bashed. Elon Musk buying Twitter, that might be your way back in. I think honestly, that's a win for everybody. Everyone can start talking freely if Elon acquires,
if he clears all the ban lists. Hopefully, I mean, Jordan Peterson got back, but we'll see. That was the first platform that deleted me. It was Twitter, and then slightly before YouTube, it was TikTok, and then it was YouTube. And you bring up these the soy boys who are making videos saying mass report. I don't think YouTube cares about reports. I think that they definitely saw it and they took it into consideration, but I don't think that's what banned me. I think it was a bigger coordinated attack. I think that they saw what I was doing, how quickly I was rising, how this message was getting stronger, how I was connecting with people on a level that they weren't prepared for. I was going against the indoctrination faster than they could fight it and silence me and ban me. So they said, fuck it, like, take them out. And I noticed it because, I don't know if you saw this, they played my stream in the Senate. There was a Senate committee hearing where the senator of Michigan, and also he's the chair of Homeland Security, forget his name, I want to look it up now. He played a clip of my stream where I was joking about religions, and he said that I'm a domestic threat, and basically that people like me are inspiring terrorists, that people like me are against the country, and people like me are hurting. The senator of Michigan played it, and I tried to talk about this, and even then, the leftists are still saying it's no big deal. They play clips all the time. I'm like, if my stream made it to the government, and they're literally saying that they're scared of me, saying that that platforms need to do something about this. What he was saying, the reason he played the clip was basically applying pressure on these social media platforms, saying you need to do something because if you don't, you're going to get the call from somebody else. So I think that was the first sign, and the fact that they didn't even give me a valid reason why they banned me. I was in Bucharest. I was meeting up with Andrew Tate. They gave me my second strike for cyberbullying, for making fun of feminists 3 months ago on a video that was already viral. Everybody had already seen it, and they just picked that. Okay, second strike, cyberbullying. Then I posted a short on my main channel, separate channel, saying, hey guys, I'm not going to be able to stream for 2 weeks. They just gave me a strike. And apparently that's circumvention. And so that's why they were able to axe me from everything. I think that's bullshit, personally. The circumvention thing is not real because I've seen other channels. I don't want to name drop them. I don't want to snitch on them so they get banned too. But I've seen them post videos saying, goodbye, guys. I just got a second strike. I'll see you later. I can't stream for 2 weeks. They don't get taken down. They use that as an excuse to completely wipe me from the platform. They even deleted channels that I made back when I was 14. So there's a real problem going on. If people like us, I care more about freedom of speech than the government. Genuinely. Because they're saying this is a threat. He's inspiring terrorists. Take him out. The senator, the chair of Homeland Security, is saying that I need to be taken out. So the fact that now people like us are more for the Constitution than the government, than big tech elites, than the people in charge should be alarming to people. But it's not. They get brainwashed by the small things. Oh, you're bullying. Oh, this is harassment. The low-level brainwashed people cannot comprehend what's really happening, so they need to come attack me, call me a misogynist, an incel.
That's the number one. That's one of the main tactics of the far left, the way they conduct their tyranny. It's similar to a Nazi tactic where they would burn the rice and then they would just blame it on the communists. And I'm in Germany, so I'm just telling you that's like real Nazi history right there. You know, so it's, for example, if they call you a sexist, they call you racist, they call you a homophobe, then they censor you. it's really a repetitive formula. It is the same to me. I call out. I literally did a video. I remember now. I just got a flashback that we briefly talked on Twitter once. Like the first time I spoke to you was about Drew Follow. I was asking you actually to expose her.
Yeah, I remember.
And then you got banned. Then that was it. Lights out.
That's why I forgot about it. Sorry.
No, sorry.
Not my fault. Not my fault. But yeah.
That's actually that literally happened with you and Tate. Both of you guys. I talked to both of you guys. Boom. Both of y'all got banned. But anyway, back to the point. So check this out. So I make a video calling out her side, her bullying, fat shaming, harassing, calling guys, incel, fat, bald, short, whatever the fuck she wants. Then I get bullying. I even did a video doing verbatim, word by word. Someone said to me, Nima, why don't you go do a video word by word and just regurgitate it right back to Drew? I did the same thing. Sneako, I did the same thing. Yep. Word by word. I got taken down for hate speech.
Yeah. Yeah.
You cannot make this shit up, bro.
I was just talking about this yesterday. Yeah. I posted on Instagram, which is the last major platform I still have besides Twitch. You guys can follow me on twitch.tv/Sneako Live. I posted on Instagram. I shouldn't have done this, and Islam's watching this right now. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. He said, to be careful. This is your last platform. You can't get banned. And the same thing happened to me that I think I can make a perfect comparison. So I posted the list of names. I said Kanye West, Julian Assange, Andrew Tate, Donald Trump, Alex Jones, people who advocate for free speech. There was more people like Dave Chappelle I put on there, George Carlin, Patrice O'Neill, Edward Snowden. I just put a list of these names and I said, I'm going to delete this. I'm going to delete this in 3 minutes. I need to start playing chess now. Study these people. These people are the last martyrs of free speech. And then within 5 minutes, Instagram takes it down for violence. A list of names. Not even me speaking, a black and white image of a list of names. And you know what's funny? If a feminist, if a soy boy posted the same list of names and in the caption insulted them and said these people are racist, misogynist, toxic people, they keep it up. But it's violence when you're in support of these people. It's funny how when you reverse it and you come from a different ideology, they find any excuse to cyberbullying, harassment. But on the other side, if you're following the indoctrination, go ahead.
Yeah, it's so true, man. It's so true. It's the Ivy League has indoctrinated these people to the point of just off the reservation. It's like it really is true. Like, the more of these Ivy League graduates I see, I find that the uneducated are generally smarter than the miseducated at these Ivy League schools because they've been so indoctrinated. It's really I want my children to be homeschooled.
Yeah,
I don't want that
indoctrination. Well, I need to change my battery. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, for sure.
I agree with you. I want to homeschool my children too. Also, I just want to say I saw your 3-day-old in there. Congratulations. Congratulations,
man. Thank you, man. Yeah, thing is, thank you, man. I've seen you speak about love and stuff like that, and I feel like there's like a group of roughneck dudes, that are tough, individual, free thinkers and stuff like that. And I think like the one way I'm a little bit wholesome in that I've been with the same woman for years, man, and I'm not, when I was younger, I was a bachelor, but now, I got my father and that's probably the one way that I'm a little bit separate than a lot of the guys that are going hard, but I'm also 42. When I was 24, when I was 34, I was going hard, bro. I was going real hard, models in New York City, going to castings, picking up models and then bringing them out to the nightclubs, inviting them out, bring 8 models. I mean, you're from New York, right?
Yeah.
I'm from, where were you? What block?
I was born and grew up a little bit in Brooklyn. I mostly grew up in New Haven. I was just living in Bushwick for the past several years in Harlem before that.
Nice. Harlem. Yeah. Nice.
You're from Brooklyn?
No. LES, man. LES.
Oh, okay.
Man.
You Puerto Rican?
Yeah. Huh?
You Puerto Rican?
No, man. I'm Israeli and Iranian. I'm mixed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Persian mixed. Yeah, but no, but
that was not Avenue D, not Alphabet City.
Nah, but now East Broadway and Grand, Lower East Side, not far from East Village, though. But that's before Trader Joe's was there and stuff like that. Yeah. Back then there was like a diner. There wasn't like all that big cinema and stuff like that. That was before gentrification. But now look at New York. It's becoming. I was just with my friend, came from Paris Fashion Week. I was just with him in Amsterdam, and he was just telling me about how Bowery's become dangerous. You know, you look at the mayor, what he's been doing. It's crazy that one reason I left New York, for example, was, think about it. You make $100, $6 goes to the state of New York, $3 goes to the city of New York. And what the fuck do you get in return? Right? Go down to Florida,
You get looted.
183-day rule. I do my primary residence in Florida, take care of that, knock that out, get tax residency, my tax domicile in Florida. Then I have my home here in Germany. So the taxes here are higher, but here people actually get healthcare. It's schools. It's safe. In America, man, it's fucking dangerous, bro. Like, and it really is true. And you feel it more when you live in Europe. I mean, you were just in Europe. What did you feel like? And I exclude London because London's a big, you know, I exclude Paris. Those are tough cities, you know, but I'm just saying, like, in general, what did you think in regards to safety?
It's funny because Romania is technically a third world country, I think. Some people were telling me that it's a third world country. It's one of the poorest countries in Europe. And I saw maybe one homeless person. I didn't see anybody poor. Like, even the poor people were living fine. It's a safe place. Andrew Tate and Tristan Tate walk around freely. They need security at the nightclub maybe, but they can go to restaurants. They don't need. They're fine. They're well known everywhere. People don't bother them. They feel safe there. They know the right people. It's a place that's conducted with respect and religion. And these godless places like New York, Los Angeles, even Miami now, you need to always be on, because you never know what can happen. The insanity levels here, even in a first world country, you never know, like, is this person genuinely insane? Because what's going on, the brainwashing that's happening can flip a lot of people, but you don't have to be worried about the same things in Romania that you need to be worried about here. But London is different. London, I noticed more, it's more westernized. And even Bucharest. Bucharest is Eastern Europe, and they always talk about how it's different. But I was talking to this one girl who was saying all the same feminist bullshit. She started talking about the wage gap. She started talking about she's a Sagittarius. I'm like, what happened? I thought it was good here. So it really infects. It's a disease. It infects a lot of these people with absolutely. She's like, I'm a feminist. Why? What does that mean?
Yeah.
She had nothing to say. She knew how to say the bullet point thing. She was talking about my star sign, which is. And I thought it was safe, but I'm telling you, as long as they have a phone, people are susceptible to being brainwashed very easily.
I really think that, like, most of the guys that are like high value guys, you know, athletic, make money, you know, just popular dudes, like in a party, they're able to pull up, get a girl on the street, whatever, you know. I don't like. I still do think the vast majority of women are into traditional stuff. You know, like my woman, for example, she's a teacher by training, by education. She's a teacher, but she's happy staying at home now. We got a daughter, and you know, it's a luxury for me. You know, I get to spend a lot of time with my daughter now. First, you know, just born, but I'm just saying, you know, like, I think a lot of women are actually, in fact, happier in the traditional role, and you see this more and more now, where women that, you know, women became successful in her career. She's in her mid-30s, she's in her mid-40s, has no man, miserable as fuck, lonely. Has everything, but I mean, family is everything to me. I mean, I've done millions of dollars of business, but nothing ever brought me as much happiness and brought me closer to my woman than about 2.5 weeks ago in the hospital, watching my daughter, looking at her face, and then looking at, and I didn't even realize I could love my woman more than I love her than I did after we had a child. And I just feel like that is the greatest source of happiness I've ever found. I've never made money that brought me more happiness than this, on a deep, 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 deep level, on an intrinsic level, you know. Right. And
I feel the same way. That's why the YouTube freezing my 120,000 doesn't hurt that much. And I think that at this point, I only really want to be a millionaire to satisfy my ego, so that people can't call me broke anymore, so that people on the internet will, like, take what I say seriously. But I agree with you. The value comes from human connection, and they can't take that away. And a lot of people don't understand that social media has turned people into clout chasing egomaniacs, and has flipped the gender roles, and women are in their 30s and 40s becoming CEOs because they want to be men and they don't know why. It's a power struggle that they have.
You know, how old are you? 24? 22?
24.
24. Okay. Like, when I see your content, I don't view you as someone that's extrinsically motivated. I don't see you as someone that's motivated by material items. I really see you more like I saw the comedy stuff you did. There's a lot of abstract stuff there. So I just feel like you like the intellectual, artistic, challenges, creativity, creating. You just don't seem like someone. I could be wrong.
No, you're right. You're right. And
yeah,
the only reason now that I need to chase the millions and get to that point is so that I could be financially secure enough to keep talking the shit I'm talking about. Because the reason that Andrew Tate, when he got banned on everything, it doesn't matter. He's already rich. Goes back, go on a yacht, get out of here, get some models, dip. Me, my life is this. I don't have any other side businesses. The only reason I was telling this to Tristan Tate, the only reason that I would go into real estate or go into other businesses is just to have something else to talk about on a video. That this is what I want to do. So now I need to protect myself, and that's what Andrew was really warning me about. I need to get to the point where I have like 3 to 5 million in the bank and I can do what you're doing. You have a tax haven in some place, maybe in Dubai, Florida, Texas, or Delaware, and then go live in a place that actually has some common sense. I was thinking about maybe going to Croatia. Germany sounds great. I love Berlin.
Yeah.
Shout out to people from there. Maybe Greece. I liked Athens a lot. But that's what you have to do. And I agree with everything you're saying. I want to homeschool my children. I don't want them to get brainwashed. The teachers are shoving gay pride flags down their throats. It's disgusting. Now there's gender affirming therapists. They're teaching
puberty blockers. I mean,
blockers. And I wasn't. See, I'm younger than you.
Outrageous.
I went to school while this happened. I was in high school when I voted for Donald Trump in 2016, and in that year, a they/them girl came into the school, and my English teacher, nice lady, but brainwashed. She was telling everyone, you have to call her a they/them. So can you pass them their pencil in an English class? We're fucking up the language in an English class. The English teacher is telling us to say go ahead, but it's just that I experienced it all. I see people now talking about it. Matt Walsh is talking about it. What is a woman? People like you are starting to talk about it, but I went through it. And so I know what it's like to have to resist the brainwashing, because very easily, if you're not headstrong, you can just fall off and then they'll accept you into their warm LGBTQ arms.
Unbelievable, man. There was an article in The Spectator, and it talked about how if a woman has a penis and you don't fuck her, you are homophobe. I mean, this is the level of far left lunacy, mental disorder. This is a mental disorder. Liberalism has really become a mental disorder. If I don't want to fuck a man who is now a woman, that I'm a homophobe. This is the level of insanity that this has gone. You got men that have breasts in the high school teaching your young. Why would I ever? I was watching this Jeffrey Dahmer documentary. And a lot of men want a son. I do want to also have a son, but I have a daughter. And when you have a daughter, you're worried, like, fuck, man. If you were a playboy, you know what it's like. You got that fear that someone's going to do that to your daughter. But one fear I don't have, and this is what I was thinking about. I was watching a movie on Netflix. They were pushing this far left feminist garbage, filth indoctrination. It was just beyond your belief. Like, they kept pushing it, and I could see it in subtle ways. Once you see the pattern, once you see the cue, once you see the subliminal messaging, you become like, you wake up to it. You can actually see it. And it's the irony is they call themselves woke. It's the irony that they took the word liberal. There's fucking complete bullshit, But anyway, as I was watching this, I was watching a teacher who was clearly like a woman, and clearly just behaving like a woman, and it was pushing it hard. And he was with his boyfriend. And I was just there thinking to myself, wow, I'm really happy in one regard that my son doesn't have to go to school and watch this filth day in and day out and maybe become somebody that's, all of a sudden doing all of this disgusting stuff, puberty blockers, all this stuff. I don't want to have to deal with that. And it's not just a previous generation. This is what we don't have strong men. If we only have lipstick salesmen in our country, in 10 years, the Chinese Communist Party will press us. I'm 42, man. In 10 years, I'm 52. You're only 34. Islam is only going to be like, what, 30? You guys are kids still. You know what I mean? Like kids. Like at the end of the day, these Chinese guys, the Chinese Communist Party, they're training hard. They're tough. They're smart. They're organized. They're not fucking around. And everybody already knows now that the algorithm at TikTok over there has been documented. Tucker Carlson did a segment on it. Literally did a
And nobody
segment
cares.
showing it.
That's how dumb the vast majority of the population is that this is public information, and still blindly every single day just letting them poison your brain. And people consciously do it for 2 to 3 hours. And I've been criticized for the hypocrisy because I tell people, like, this is going to go on TikTok. We're going to see our faces on people's phones. I think it's a form of resistance to post information like this, because knowing that everybody's addicted, even though everybody knows it's garbage, they're not going to uninstall the app. I've never downloaded. I don't have TikTok. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to poison my brain. But I'm also smart enough to know that even if people know they are literally brainwashing us, they don't care. Okay, but go back to the next fucking dance. They don't care. So we're never going to uninstall these apps. We might as well post information on there that is fighting the brainwashing. Stuff like this. People have criticized me like, oh, why do you hate on TikTok where you're telling people to clip it up? Because they need to hear something like this. And if I know little kids are every single day going to, and have 12-year-olds are on TikTok, they have no idea about any of this. Hopefully they could see something like this and it could sway them away and they won't end up painting their nails and saying that I need to be banned. But that's what a lot of people will fall down that path.
All right, so check this out. So something happened, and that was that last July. All right, most of my audience on TikTok, when I had about 780,000, was actually women, and I'm not a misogynist. I don't know how I've become this misogynist. I got kicked off the app, which is the irony is that most of my audience was women. But check this out on TikTok. But a single mother came up to me, and she said to me, she said, "Hey, a follower of mine, supporter of mine." She said, she says, "There's this woman named Drew Follow, and she's bullying and harassing young men. All the guys she picks on." I'm telling you, Sneako, if you look at the guys she picks on, she'll pick on like a 22-year-old kid that's like from a Disney show. Like, she'll pick on the softest kids. She won't pick on the tall, like, athletic guys like us, like, that can get women. She'll pick on the guys that are so soft, and she consistently, or she'll pick the guy that's just physically just not attractive at all. Anyway, so she's very selective in who she picks. The only one that she ever went after that didn't fit that category was Andrew Tate. But other than that, not at all. But even then, it's not a fair competition because she has the people in the Culver City TikTok office helping her. I have so much information on how this is going on. It's like a fact check.
Tell me something more about it. You seem like I want to know more.
Offline. Let's
yeah. You're already banned on TikTok. I'm already banned on.
No. Let's just say there's people that I would compromise, behind enemy lines. So, you know what I mean? There's several people. Let's just say potentially there's several people behind enemy lines. I don't want to compromise them. People lose their jobs and shit, But so check this out. So this lady tells me about Drew Follow. I told you about it. And I told a few other people about it. I told Myron about it. Teflon Myron. He's the one that spoke up about it. I never even knew he knew about her. Then when I got on his show, Fresh and Fit, he was just letting me go ham on Drew Follow. But check this out. So it was actually a single mother who told me about Drew Follow bullying, harassing, and body shaming young men with the full support of the Chinese Communist Party, which uses her as a puppet, and the Culver City, California TikTok office staff. Okay. Now, they also coordinate with the mainstream media. Now, you look at the hit pieces that come out of there, it's generally all Drew Follow supporters. It's so consistent. It's so coordinated what they're doing. Anyway, I end up getting to a point where I'm like, this is driving me fucking crazy. I just make video. I made like 11 videos in a row. They kept taking them down. Then they banned me. I couldn't walk away from it. And I think that's what happened. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's what happened to you, where something clicked in your head, where you just, from an ideological standpoint, where you're just like, I cannot, if I'm silent, then I sold my soul.
Yeah, I physically couldn't do it. Even when I got my second strike and I was streaming in Andrew Tate's studio in the emergency meeting room, they told me right before, I had a long talk with Andrew, with Tristan, with Justin Waller, with all these guys, Luke Belmar, all guys that think like us, saying you can't, even Andrew heard before I went on the stream, he's like, you're a target. I've heard from people I know that you're a target right now. I can't have you on the show because reasons that I can't talk about, but he ended up, there's a rebel. Like at some point when people tell you, you can't do this, some party's just like, fuck this, I have to do it. I have to do it. That's me. And I went on the stream and they're like, play it safe. Don't talk about it. And I started talking about the cough. I don't say the word. I'm talking about the cough, talking about Biden and maybe what happened to get him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And still then, they must have been watching it, and I think that was the final acts. I don't think it was the people reporting, but that's what I'm like. When people say, you can't touch the subject, this is not, but I'm the same way as you. As soon as it clicked and I saw all these YouTubers, all the people that are trying to ban me, there's this whole community on YouTube, the commentary community, they all talk about the same 5 issues. And all of them are copy and paste the same thing. They have the exact same sense of humor, the exact same funky lighting in the background, the same editing with the sound effects and stuff like that, calling men cringe, saying this is toxic masculinity, making hit pieces and calling Andrew Tate a human trafficker. They all say the exact same things. And it was just like layup after layup. I was just streaming, like roasting all of them, every single one. It was just very predictable. I knew how to do it for every single one. And I knew that if we ever got in a call, they would not be able to say anything. The most annoying part is that they will go on and say, ban this person, ban Sneako, but they don't have the mental strength to talk to me. They can't, let alone face to face. They can't even do this, because there was a couple times where I would get in a call on accident with these people. It's just light work, layup after layup after. They sit there, I don't know, and I predict everything about them. Like, you're giving me booster shot energy, and because they don't know what to say. I'm right. When you figure out what's happened to these people, you know exactly. And I know, I just met you now. I could tell you, you probably agree with so many things I'm saying. I'm not sure how much, if you want to get your YouTube channel banned, but I know what you think about the booster. I know what you think about the election in 2020. I know what you think about. I know, because there's just the truth and there's the lies.
Yeah.
And the truth is being so actively censored right now that people who are on the outside of it, it's like there's a lot of men are really starting to wake up to this, and they're trying to get rid of it, but there's an awakening that's happening. And for the people that are watching this on YouTube and TikTok, I want them to know that when you hear red pill, you think that it's some pickup artist, misogyny, women thing. It's way bigger than that. Nima, you're a family man. You just had you showed me a 3-year-old baby.
Yeah,
you're a man of God. The red pill it's not about women. And the first step for men to take the red pill is realizing the nature of women, because they don't explain that anywhere. They don't tell you anymore that men and women are different, what women want, the role you're supposed to play as a man. That's the first step. Once you take that, then everything else starts to open up. So for the people, the red pill is not about picking up women. The red pill is simply the analogy from the Matrix. It's just the truth. Most people are going to stay asleep. Ignorance is bliss. They don't want to know what's really happening. They'd rather live their life and paint their nails and do these stupid videos. That's their life. But the red pill is just waking up to what's really happening. And for people to understand that, they need to know that power corrupts everybody.
Put it like this, notion that guys like you, let's say Myron, Walter, Tates and stuff and so forth, that it's a group of misogynists. They're just fucking a bunch of women, etc. and so forth. That's it. They're dogs. Who gives a fuck, right? And that's how they're painting it, let's say. But here's another situation. I'm a 42-year-old man. I'm engaged. I've been with the same woman for several years. I'm in a happy, healthy relationship. I'm pretty content. Don't barely ever argue. And I just have a daughter. I plan on getting more. I'm very dedicated to my family. And I can tell you right now, I'm not doing that Playboy stuff like I did when I was younger, but I don't consider you a misogynist. I just don't. And I just think that it's ridiculous. And I think that there's a lot of family men that would also say that the stuff that you guys have been saying is not bannable. It's outrageous that this has been bannable, that yet these toxic feminist filth and the indoctrination of our young men to get to change their sex without the parents even knowing. The teachers that have these conversations with their kids is outrageous. It's government agents posing as a school. It's a fucking prison. If you look at the high school in the Lower East Side, near the Delancey and Essex metro station, the subway station,
I know it's cool.
It looks like a fucking prison. It looks like a prison.
The food is like prison food. They serve it to you. They give the same schedule.
Yeah, look at the school, Sneako. You've seen it. Use the bars, bro. That's not a high school.
Prison windows. Yeah, it's not any place for people to learn and become creative. It's a place to just suppress people's natural instincts and what they really want to do. They try to push what you want out of you from the second, and that's why I make these videos, because I felt it when I was 6 years old. I always understood it. I don't know why I'm different than people in that sense, but I don't know if you're this way too, or what it takes, but I think everybody goes through this and then they decide. I even think that back when you're 6 years old and you first go to school, you do have the option to take the red pill or the blue pill. I think that there is that moral dilemma in your head from way back. And then you just decide, like, you'll be sitting in class doing the Pledge of Allegiance, standing up, I pledge allegiance to the flag. And part of you is like, this is a bunch of bullshit. We're all
over here, they think it's outrageous. By the way, that Pledge of Allegiance in the United States, you go to other countries, like if you tell people in Germany they do that shit is like
Nazi. It's some Nazi shit.
Straight up. That's crazy that we do that. By the way, that's like really, like you tell people out in other rich countries. I'm not talking about before somebody says, "Oh, that's how it is in Syria, in Iraq." No, I'm in Germany, the richest country in Europe. I'm in North Rhine-Westphalia, which is the richest state and the richest country in Europe. Only has 84 million people. Fifth strongest economy in the world. Strongest economy here. Strongest military in Europe. High standard of living. And they would say that thing is straight Nazi. Even here in Germany, the chancellor, even Angela Merkel was against Trump being banned off TikTok. Even Bernie Sanders. Honestly, I fucked with Bernie when I was younger. In Lower East Side, Bernie was like a street champ. He was like a gangster. He was like a rapper. In the streets, people loved him, right? But then when I saw him get bamboozled, that's when I was like, I'm never voting for that was actually it was around 2016 that I exited Democrat Party forever. I said
that was exactly the same thing with me. I was a Bernie bro. And that's why I voted for Trump. When I saw that they rigged the election for Hillary, I'm like, the DNC, I'm a Democrat. I'm voting. I'm going Trump. I'm on the Trump. Make America great again. Build that wall. Lock her up. I went to Trump rallies. Lock her up. Lock her. That was great. As soon as I saw what they did to Bernie, because Bernie, the reason I don't agree with all the taxes and all the socialism and stuff like that, but you could tell, you can look into Bernie's eyes and know that guy believes what he's saying.
Yes.
He's not bought and sold. That's what I resonated with. This guy's not bought and sold. Nobody's telling him what to do behind the scenes. He's real. And that's what I cared about the most. Trump was close. I thought he was trolling a lot. But as soon as Hillary she eats babies on an island. She's a demon. These are terrible, terrible people. And I'm very anti that. But that was exactly the reason. Now I'm a right-wing guy. And I guess I'm a Republican now because of what happened in 2016. And I never considered this. I was a liberal my whole life. I grew up in Connecticut and New York. Like everyone's blue.
Yeah. And that's the thing. Yeah, that's and like they can paint us as these homophobes, sexists, and the reality is we're not. You know what I'm saying? I know that you probably have gay friends. You know what I'm saying? I had a therapist that was gay. He's gonna be the guy at my wedding. You know what I mean? Like he's a gay guy, and he was a Bernie supporter. Now he's a Trump supporter, and he even sees it. He actually exposed to me a lot of the deep psychological breakdown of what's going on in our school system, where the more they say, they take it from he, she, so now it's two genders, now it's they. They're breaking it down almost as if we're going in this pattern where all of a sudden the definition of human can be a robot. And that's a dark. That's a long conversation within itself. But then I started thinking about it. I was like, wow, some of this stuff is just straight up evil. And when you think, I never used the word evil until recently. I'm 42. I never used the word evil until recently. I started thinking about it. I said, well, you're going against the family structure. You're talking about homosexuality, talking about men becoming women. You're destroying the family structure entirely.
You're giving kids puberty blockers. You're cutting off children's dicks. And then
is this not evil?
It's evil.
At some point, you have to say to yourself, like, is this evil? Is this in fact evil?
Well, now even in LGBTQ, they're saying pedophilia is a sexual orientation, and that you can't blame these people. At that point,
did you see that kid? Did you see that still as a kid? Imagine if your son. I saw this kid. He's like maybe 11 years old. Goes to the Starbucks, bro. Goes to the Starbucks and he's watching this, and then the transvestites playing with the kid, teaching him about sex. This is the lunacy of the far left. They're destroying our country. They're trying to indoctrinate our men to become such pussies. We're not going to have anything if the Chinese Communist Party laugh at us because we're idiots. We become idiots. And then they pay off the Democrats. No wonder we're not going against them. And how? They got Carlyle Group. David Rubenstein's putting all this money into TikTok. It's just happening over and over. And they're just silencing it. They canceled me. They canceled you. They canceled a bunch of guys. We're like, really, it's not even just us. It's the guys that had 50,000 followers gone. It's the guy that had 10,000 followers. He was popping off. Boom, suppression. Shadow ban. He said, fuck it, I'll give up. He goes back to his job working as a computer engineer. He doesn't give a fuck. Most people don't give a fuck. Most people don't have the conviction guys like you and I have, who can't be bought and sold. You respect Bernie. I respect Bernie. Why? Because you can't be bought and sold. You recognize it. In New York, we say real, recognize real. You understand it. You know, you understand that. You're old enough to understand that. You're wise. You're mature for a 24-year-old. You understand that. I understand that too. We speak the same language. You can't be bought and sold. Guys that can't be bought and sold march to their own drumbeat. I'd rather be with someone like that I know where they stand. See, you don't know where some of these guys stand. Even Jim Jordan just voted for big tech, guy that was talking against it. But you got guys like Marco Rubio. You got guys like Amy Schumer. She's a Democrat. She spoke about it. Senator of Virginia, Mark Warner. He's been speaking about TikTok. So you are getting bipartisan support. But why is the Biden administration not pushing out that communists fill TikTok? Because there's money involved. And then did you notice when the war was going on, they got a bunch of the most far leftist fucking scum TikTok creators to go talk about it, to push their propaganda. And then they suppress everyone that doesn't. If you go and you type CCP on TikTok, anyone that can watch this, just look at the filth. Look at the filth that pops up consistently. You type in toxic feminism, look what pops up. And then type in toxic masculinity. It's not even a comparison. What they're doing, it's just blanket, naked communism, day in and day out indoctrination. And what they did to you was outrageous. I hope
everybody call people like me now, they call you a misogynist if you want a traditional relationship. Your wife stays at home, she takes care of the kids. That's misogynist now. You're suppressing
her mom. You can ask her mom. You can ask her sister. You can ask.
No, we all know. You have happy with it.
No, but Sneako, they're all happy with me. My woman's happy. I like anybody in the street.
Well, that's what they've made. They tricked women into thinking that being naturally what a woman wants to be is oppressive. So they think that staying at home and raising the kids is, you're caging me in. They don't know what they really want to do anymore. All these women are power tripping and they don't realize it. All these women believe in astrology, these star bullshits, witchcraft instead of God. It's evil. They're spreading. And I didn't even believe in God until I woke up to this. I was an atheist because I grew up in the church and I thought it was, sitting down there doing these lessons. It felt like a waste. But I did not believe in God until I opened up my eyes to how evil is what runs the world. If all these women believe in witchcraft, if all these people are practicing LGBTQ at 12 years old, they're showing it to kids, if they're on an island somewhere, all the richest people doing meetings and satanic rituals, then God has to exist. Because if the most powerful people are using satanic evil to separate morality and separate empathy so that they don't care at all and take complete power and control, and the gap between the rich and the poor gets wider, then God has to be real on the inverse. There has to be some good if evil is how you take complete control like that. It scares me. And I don't know why. It doesn't scare me. I'm aware of it now. I don't know why. When I talk about this a lot of the time, even on Fresh and Fit, people laugh. Like when I talk about what happened on Epstein's Island, or I talk about how these billionaires are doing these rituals. They call me a crazy conspiracy theorist. And that's another word that they use. Oh, this one out. Conspiracy theorist is another word that they use to label you and silence you and call you crazy. So they call you crazy. That happened to Dave Chappelle. He signed this $100 bill. They called Kanye West crazy. They called Alex Jones a crazy conspiracy theorist. Anyone who starts speaking the truth, they just label you with all these words. And I think that's one of the most dangerous words is conspiracy theorist, because it's not a conspiracy theory. Everybody knows Jeffrey Epstein didn't kill himself in that prison cell. One of the most high-profile prisoners of all time, and the camera's off, and the guards are... They're not looking at him? He was able to hang himself? Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
Everybody knows this. There's documentaries. It's public information. There were trials about it. Ghislaine Maxwell, what's she doing, 40 years? And when I talk about this, like the billionaires, the most powerful people, the elites are doing rituals on an island in cloaks, doing sacrifices, bringing kids there. This is public knowledge. And when I say this, oh, you're a crazy conspiracy theorist, because you're not supposed to talk about this.
Exactly. Yeah, it's facts. Yeah, man, you're nailing it on the head. So let me ask you. So when you say the thing about faith, what was the tipping point? What was the tipping point for you? Or you believe in God? All of this. You don't mind me asking? That's a personal question.
No. I mean, I was going to say check out the video, but it's all terminated now. I posted a video called "I Don't Care About Anything Anymore," and I hit a point where I think a lot of people after the cough realized that something's wrong. Something's because I went through a hedonistic phase. I was feeling pretty nihilistic. After I realized what really went on with the cough, I was rejecting everything. I didn't care about anything, which is a really dangerous path to go down. And maybe that's why God does exist, because people need a purpose. People need something to follow.
Yeah.
But not caring, like, fuck the government, fuck the people in charge. I don't care about everything is pointless. There's no point in investing in everything. And I was at like my lowest point where I didn't care. That's when I didn't believe in God, when I was like, all the richest people don't care about us. They're all manipulating us. They're trying to make us compliant. They're giving us all these booster bullshits. Yeah. And I didn't care. And I sat in my car. I was leaving boxing training. That's where I found some sense of community. And I felt some purpose was boxing in a boxing gym in Flatbush. It's called NYPD Cops and Kids. Anyone in New York City, if you're a kid, go look for these NYPD programs. NYPD's a little bit annoying sometimes, but they do have these good boxing programs, and it's free for a lot of these kids. And they let me go in, even though the cutoff's 21. I was 23. They still let me go in. It's a great place to find a sense of community. If you're a young man and you're looking for guidance, go to a boxing gym. So I was leaving the gym, sitting in my car, and I broke down because I didn't know. And then eventually I started finding a lot of what really helped me out was Andrew and Tristan Tate's videos. Their videos were saying what I knew deep down, but I was not giving any energy because of all the brainwashing going on, because of everything around me, because living in liberal New York where thems with mullets and ponytails and Adam's apples and boobs at the same time, all this nonsense around me, I was losing a sense of direction. And then finding somebody like-minded online changed my whole life, because it was someone saying exactly what I knew, but I was told was wrong. I was told I was crazy, conspiracy theorist, misogynist, incel, all this. And then hearing someone say, no, 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 to all that bullshit, I'm like, yeah, I agree with every single thing you're saying. Everything that you are saying is something that I've known, but I've just been told was wrong. I've been told I was toxically masculine, problematic. That's why this information is so powerful. And that's how I ended up in his house. I stayed in his home. I would consider them friends now, Tristan and Andrew Tate, because the internet allows you to find like-minded people. Even you, Nima, I can tell. I can see it. Like, I know that you agree with almost everything, even stuff that we're not talking about on this call that you can't say on the internet. I know you agree with it. And that's why it's very, very powerful. And we need to keep doing this, or else a lot of people are going to be lost. And I know what it's like to be a lost man nowadays. When I only started live streaming 4 months ago. Nice. And the reason I went down this red pill path, because I started off without any purpose. I was just turning on the camera, talking, having fun. And then as I was interacting with the chat and seeing, I had 98% or 94% male audience before they terminated me. Seeing what they wanted me to watch. They wanted me to watch self-improvement videos. They wanted me to watch people like working out. And then they told me, watch Andrew Tate, watch Andrew Tate. Like, who the fuck? Fine, I'll watch it. And I kept watching it, and then seeing what the chat was, their anger. You could tap into the psyche of a lot of people all at once. The chat is a great place to figure out where the headspace of young men are at. And I remember I was in that space. Even though I've been doing YouTube for 9 years, I had hit a million subscribers. It's pretty successful before I started streaming. I was still directionless. I felt weak. I felt like I was being suppressed. I didn't know what to do. And this information really helped me.
One of the best ways, like if anybody's, watches my content, I think one of the best ways to help is by supporting the creator, especially the younger creators like Sneako, because he has a Patreon. Well, how do they find your Patreon, by the way?
My Patreon is patreon.com/thesneako. The Sneako Patreon. I'm going to re-upload all the videos that they terminated. The 10 best ones are going to be on sneako.net. And then the rest of my main channel, I'm going to put on the creativity kit. Likely people are going to leak it, so you could probably find it again, unless they terminate it off YouTube. I probably don't have to worry about the leaks too much because I'm terminated. So they'll probably take it down, but it's going to be and then everything from my live streaming on YouTube, I've saved all the live streams. I'm going to re-upload that. All the videos, I'm going to re-upload that on patreon.com/thesneako. That's where you can support me if you want to support this message, but I'm not asking for, I don't want you to be freeloaders for me. There's years of content on there. Everything they terminated, I had editing tutorials. I had all these podcasts, stuff that wasn't even public on YouTube. They're all acts because it was connected to my YouTube accounts. So, but I'm working on re-uploading it all right now on the creativity kit. You'll find a lot of the main channel videos. A lot of you haven't seen those videos because I really blew up doing the live streaming, but for 9 years, I was doing really like artistic videos, and I was introspective. I was reading and writing a lot. I was scripting all my videos. I learned Adobe Premiere. Like, I learned how to master editing. I poured my life into my main channel, Sneako. It was my life's work. But it's okay. I have most of it backed up. It's disappointing that some of those videos I'm never going to be able to see again. But I have most of it backed up, and it's going to be on Patreon. And then that's my course. The Creativity Kit is where I teach people how to become successful online. Because if you're spending all this time on TikTok, you're going to get brainwashed. And I know that everybody's going to stay on the app. So you might as well make some money off of it. I can teach you how to do that. I know how the algorithm works. It's not very difficult. I will show you. If you want to become an eloquent speaker, a lot of young guys like me are not as eloquent and not as articulate as me because I've been doing it for 10 years. I'll teach you how to become a good online presence, how to get comfortable in front of the camera, how to figure out what you want to talk about, everything in the Creativity Kit. And I do 3 calls a week. I still have my Discord. They have not banned that. I talk in the Discord. I have a live Q&A for an hour. Everybody in there can ask questions. I talk to people. There's a good place to network with other people. Everybody is how you find a like-minded community now is online. People like you, I would have never met without the internet. So
yeah. And I just want to say, you know, like when you're like 24 and you see these older people that are like banning you, it can somewhat make you feel like, man, like a level of rejection deep down. Like I got rejected. I did something wrong on a human intrinsic level as a young man, especially, you know, you want to feel accepted. You want to be recognized, especially when you were creating such, you know, incredible content that so many people resonated with. And instead of getting a pat on the back, maybe the CEO of one of the social media companies says, "Hey, Sneako, why don't you come have a cup of coffee with me? You're doing outstanding." In fact, they rejected you and then they kick you out. They expel you. They banished you from the tribe, so to speak. And I just want to say, you know, as a family man, as a father, you know, who's in a committed relationship with a woman, I tell you, as an older man to a younger man, you didn't do anything wrong. Like you really didn't.
I don't really
did.
At all.
One last thing. And your parents did a great job raising you. You know, and I always vouch that you did a great job. Your parents did a great job. You don't need me to tell you that. But as someone that is a family man, that is a father, that is 42 years old, I'm saying straight up publicly, as a young man, and everyone that follows you, that's a young man. Sneako didn't do anything wrong. He did not deserve to get banned, and his parents did a great job raising him. That's it.
Thank you. Thank you. Shout out to my parents. Shout out to my parents. That's a big reason why I have my head screwed on properly and I don't let this social media stuff get to my head is because of the support system that they gave me growing up. But and I know for a lot of young guys, when this does inevitably happen to them, when they start speaking the truth, they'll get banned and they'll feel like they did something wrong. So I'm glad you said that. But for me, it's the inverse. I know I did something right. Getting banned on YouTube for no strikes, the main channel wiping the fan channels, the fact that they're trying to erase my existence. I know I did something right.
You did. And you did. And history will age you. Everyone that's following guys that have been the rebels, that have spoken up against the tyranny, right? All of us are in a group of men that are individualistic, free thinkers, unconventional, unorthodox, not controlled, not an enslaved mind. All of you young men that are doing this right now, including Sneako, who has his massive popularity with the young men, who's leading a lot of these young men, you're doing the right thing. History will show you were in fact right. History will show that you were right. You're on the right side of history, so to speak. And I really believe that.
What is real will prosper. I always believe that. I know that time will prove me right. Right now, there's a lot of anger. And there's a lot of people celebrating the fact that I got banned. It's very popular. Right now, it's actually more popular to celebrate the fact that I got banned than to say something supportive. On all these apps, on Reddit, Twitter, YouTube, I've seen it. There's you can go viral right now if you want to. People watching, just tweet, Sneako's a loser. You'll blow up. KSI, one of the biggest YouTubers ever on the platform, somebody that I used to really like admire growing up. I took a picture of him when I was younger. He tweeted, he's a celebrity. He's making fun of me now. He's like, who got banned? And it just proves the point that it doesn't really make me upset. It's just, I know that they're jealous because a lot of these people, the most successful YouTubers like Logan Paul, who was saying that Andrew Tate needs to be silenced, they know the truth too. They also know that they sold out.
Yeah.
They sold out to the system. They want to play the game. They want to stay on the platform. They want to make their money. They want to be part of the trending page. They want to get invited to the events. So they said, I'm going to sell out. I give up. I don't want to try anymore. I am going to be a bot for Susan. I'm going to be Susan's little bitch. I'm going to, whatever big tech wants me to say, I'll do it. I'm on their side. I'm too scared. I'm too pussy to stand up for what's really true. So I know time will prevail. Time will show who's right and who's wrong. It doesn't make me upset. but it points out, and it's almost disappointing. It feels very cyclical because I grew up watching KSI. Part of the reason I started YouTube. Wow. I took a picture with him. Yeah, really. Like before I even started a channel, I was watching him. I was like repeating his jokes with my brother when I remember like as a little kid. And then I remember seeing him sell out. He got in trouble. He got called a misogynist, and then he sold out. Logan Paul, same thing. He got accused for taking a picture with a dead body. Well, not accused. He shown doing it. They put him on a trending page. Cancel culture came from him. Cried on camera. Sold out.
Look at Piers Morgan. Just like what, 2 years ago, he was talking about the Chinese. He was talking about the Ching Chong Ching milk. And then you see him with Andrew Tate. He's acting like a moral authority. I mean, these guys have sold out. They're shameless. They're absolutely shameless. And they really have no shame. They have no backbone. In fact, they look at when you and I get canceled. And then instead of saying, all right, I'm going to stand by this. I'm going to stand strong and I'm going to call this out. I'm fucking pissed off. You know what they do? They do the opposite. I never forget. After I got canceled, there was a creator, smaller creator than me. Can you imagine? Because I'm smaller than you. But I'm just saying, in the creator side, he had about 100,000 followers. And then I'm not going to call out his name. And I said to him, I said, hey, man, you saw me get canceled defending young men like you on TikTok. I got canceled because of this shit. And you're supposed to be my boy. You went and put a pronoun in your fucking bio? I'm like, and he's like, yeah, man, I didn't know what to do. But so they actually watched what you and I do, and they do the opposite to kiss the ass.
Wow.
It's fucking mind blowing. They literally watch what you and I do. We get banned. They watch their anonymous account, and then they fucking do the opposite to kiss the ass. Yeah. So when Logan Paul did that to Tate, it was like, yo, he was already down. He was already down. He already lost everything. Then the fucking Logan Paul had to jump in there and say that. I lost respect for him. I like Jake Paul a lot. I lost respect for Logan Paul because I really do think everyone can see that he actually really does know better. It's like, come on, man. Come on, dude. Why did you do that?
They're saying it was popular because they want to get on the trending page. They want to stay on the side of what the big techs are, the big tech elites are telling them to say. They want to go trending. They want to get a viral tweet. Sneako's a loser. Andrew Tate's problematic. Boom. They go viral right now, but time will tell. Time will tell. And also, I'm very aware of all the similar situation. Been on YouTube for 9 years. So I made a lot of YouTube friends along the way. Yeah. And a lot of them, it's a little bit eye-opening because if the same thing happens to anybody else, I always reach out to people who have been canceled because I hate this shit. Like deep down in my heart, it makes me sick when I see this happen. So I defend anybody who's been canceled. Some of the last stuff I tweeted before I got banned were saying free Speed, free Nick Fuentes, free Leaf. Anybody who got banned, I want to support them. But seeing these YouTube friends, people I've collaborated with, who I've talked to in real life, who I've done videos with, stay silent. Not call me, text me, not say anything about it.
I just had this conversation with Islam. I literally just said this like last night. I was like, yo, you're going to see really quick. I was surprised after all those people that I had on TikTok, 708,000 followers, man, people that fucking rock with me. Once I got canceled, no one gave a fuck. It's like, yo, man, like it was just gone. I was like, I defended you guys and they didn't give a fuck. And you know what? That's reality, bro. You're going to start seeing the guy.
They don't want to get canceled too.
Well, you're going to see the guys that actually give a fuck. Now you're going to start seeing the guys that have conviction. You're going to see the guys that really have conviction that are ready to go through fire with you. You know, all the guys that you have now, remember them because one day you're going to become very successful. You know, just my final note here. One day you have a great future. You have a very great future ahead of you. You're very talented, ambitious, creative young man. You have complete conviction. You're going to go far. So remember the guys now. Maybe eat like a fucking notepad. And don't forget these guys that
I don't need a notepad. You never forget. I still remember the people in high school. Even I still remember one of my first girlfriends called my YouTube channel stupid. You don't forget shit like that, especially when you start blowing up. You remember. I remember even, when you're even a little kid, the guys in middle school making fun of you for that. Like you always remember the real and the fake if you stay
Facts, real. Man. Facts, man. Well, hey, Sneako, man, listen, it was a pleasure doing this with you. Maybe do it again in a few weeks or so, man. It was fantastic. Again, you really do got a great future ahead of you, and I'm here any way I can help you. You know.
Thank you. Keep fighting a good fight. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, man, absolutely. And yeah, all right, man. Well, all right.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Appreciate you.
Yeah, man. Thank you.